Hello friends, it's Trevor, it's Avery, it's Pat, it's the citywide special. The Phillies are swept by the Yankees as the team's struggles continue. The Phillies acquire outfielder Austin Hayes as well as relief pitchers Tanner Banks and Carlos Estevez. Is it time to panic or is a turnaround inevitable? Eagles training camp continues. Who has impressed so far? Veteran O-lineman Nick Gates is signed while cornerback Mario Goodrich is released. Joel Embiid turns in a mediocre performance in the Olympics against Serbia and doesn't see the court versus South Sudan. Should this mean anything to Sixers fans? All that more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Swept my balls off yet again.
Yep, it is hot again, folks.
I don't know what it is, but it was brutal today. Yesterday was not that bad. Today, it's pretty back.
Yeah,
it's back to being hot, nice and swampy, but good to be back. Feels good down here. Man, you must have had that little AC on here for a minute because it's not that bad. I was nervous coming over here today.
Oh, for sure. I was ready to say we cancel again.
Well, I had the living room window unit going since last night, so
Nice. All that cold air sinks. That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, feeling good. I mean, the city was pretty lively this week so far with the soccer match. You had Liverpool and Arsenal yesterday. You got the live training camp today at the Link, 50,000 plus fans, which is always good to see everybody turn out, bring their kids, and show the team some support, especially during the Phillies debacle this week. But
yes.
Other than that, not too bad. Olympics are in full throw. It's cool to see Team USA. I think as of right now, we have the most. We got the most medals.
Yeah, not the most golds.
We just lost by 2 so far. I think China, the People's Republic of China, has 22. We got 19.
Yeah.
But once the other shit pops off, we'll take that, I'm sure. Like track and field and things like that. They're good at China's good at the aerobatic stuff, like the diving and the.
They're gymnasts on Sunday morning. I was watching those Chinese gymnasts, the men, they were killing it, dude. Some of the stuff they were doing,
the pole shit's nuts too, and they flip in the air like that.
Yeah, no, I have the utmost respect for most Olympians. You know what's wild is they don't get paid.
Yeah, they do. Only if you place.
Imagine you work all your life for that goal, and you come in 4th place, and you don't get paid. Who pays for their travel? They do.
I don't
know.
I would assume that the country has the program probably funds that. Like for instance, South Sudan, right, the basketball team.
Oh, they were hooping.
Yeah, but who's the basketball player that?
Luol Deng.
Luol Deng.
He's been funding it. Well,
so
I mean,
he paid.
He had a long NBA career. He's got money.
My point though, he's not a country. Like you would think that, China's got enough money to produce, to put them up in the hotel or the Olympic Village and all that stuff. Be kind of brutal to make them do their own thing. Unless, you get a guy like Michael Phelps where you've won 15 golds. You got money to...
Yeah, I mean, he's got all.
Did you see in the Olympic Village or whatever, the bed frames are just made out of cardboard?
Yeah, but again...
What? Yeah, they're just straight up.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
But it's not I saw
barely even dorms.
People were testing them out and it's not... It's supposed to be fuck-proof, but it's not. People were jumping up, doing somersaults.
People...
You can't...
Yeah, I mean, these are world-class athletes. They can find a way.
That ain't nothing, dude.
But they're
finding ways to do pole vaulting 10 feet in the air, a little sex on a cardboard.
People are doing backflips on this bed. The bed, it is cardboard, but it's industrial grade cardboard. That's all. It's not it's you blow on it.
So you're saying it's sturdy?
Oh, they were doing some shit big time.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know this? Is there Olympic porn?
No, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure there is.
There's a genre, but I don't think it's actual Olympians.
Olympian porn?
They were doing
that's a thing?
No, but there were some Olympic athletes that were showing up and recording themselves. Well, these are supposed to be sex-proof beds. Let's test it out. They were just jumping from the bookshelf to the bed, and it wasn't doing anything. They were I think it's safe to go. It's known that they go crazy and everybody's just fucking in the Olympic Village.
Of course
they are. Yeah.
Especially after you medal, you're probably oh, I'm done. I got a few days here. She's done.
Especially in Paris,
a few days
too.
Here. He's done.
Yeah, you go check out the Louvre, and then you go back and have sex with wearing nothing but your gold medals.
Go eat some escargot.
Yeah.
With a future significant other. You're having a good time, man.
Big time.
I like the Olympics.
Yeah.
I do not dig on this heat. You were saying the city was busy. It's been lively. It's also been lively with those damn Yankees fans.
Oh, yeah.
All these Yankees fans invading the city, man. What is this all about?
It's New York.
It's a pestilence.
It's an invigorated
cockroaches.
New York-Philly rivalry again.
Yeah. Wiley's got to escape it for a day in beautiful Wilmington, Delaware.
Nice.
Yo, Wilmington's boring,
dude,
man.
Yeah. Well, this was... I mean, I guess you guys probably already heard it, but so I'm going down there for a concert. I'm taking originally I was going to take a train down at like 9 a.m. Then I woke up that morning. I was like, nah, fuck that. And I just like booked a different train for like 3:30.
Yeah.
So then I'm on the train on the Amtrak from 30th Street. And I'm thinking, well, let me go onto my Ticketmaster account or whatever, just make sure that I have these tickets pulled up and there's no problems or whatever. I'll get that sorted out first thing. And it comes up and it just says canceled. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like looking at the venue's website. I'm trying to find like the band's website. I can't find any information about this at all. The only thing is just Ticketmaster said it's canceled. And then after a while, I found that like apparently one of the people in the band got sick or something, so they had to cancel. And then my train back wasn't until like close to midnight. So I'm just like, all right, I guess I'm just going to spend a day hanging out in Wilmington.
Yeah, there's not much to do.
Yeah, it was it was definitely one of those towns where most of the people that you pass by just look fucking miserable. Yeah. Like, oh, man. I did end up finding a nice, like a fun dive bar to spend the evening at, though. Like I went there for the Phillies game, played a bunch of bingo. It was bingo night.
Did you win anything?
Nice.
No, man. I ended up like losing like $45 playing bingo because it was like 8 rounds.
But how much did you have to pay to play?
Like $5 each time.
Oh, wow.
You were there for a minute.
Like, yeah, and but I was just like, if I could just win on one of these, that'll just pay for everything that I spent.
What
like,
were the prizes? Was it just a cash prize?
It was just a cash pot, and they were like $250 each, and then the last round was double, so it was like $500.
Did you get close at all?
There was a couple times I was like one away, yeah.
That's how they always get you.
Yeah, the guy sitting next to me won twice.
Damn. Did he buy you a drink?
He did buy me a couple rounds, so
That's
he was a nice guy, but yeah, man. Yeah, Wilmington.
Yeah, Wilmington, there ain't much to do.
It's like when you first get off, it's just like in the, I guess, whatever their equivalent of like Center City is, it's just all corporate headquarters. Yeah. It's just Chase Bank. It's just all banks.
Yeah.
And,
Capital One's there.
Yeah, because there's tax evasion shit.
And their actual downtown is tiny, too. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's the size of downtown Camden, essentially.
Yeah, there's like not much. I ended up going, kind of across town to, I don't know, different neighborhood. I went to some Italian restaurant that was definitely a place where old people go to get dinner. It was like I walk in there at like a little after 5 o'clock, and there's like all these tables just full of old people, and they're like finishing up. They're like done dinner at like 5. Yep. Yeah, and So that was fun. But yeah, all in all, it was. I mean, ended up having a good time despite my fucking show getting canceled. But
yeah, that sucks. It sucks that you got there for that to happen. It's not like
if I had looked up my tickets before I left, I would have just not fucking gone. But.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's worse places to go than
you got
Wilmington,
a little
Delaware.
right there. Then.
Yeah. I was like, well, take life as it comes. I was meant to be here somehow. I'll make the most of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you know who didn't take life as it comes? Philadelphia Phillies.
Absolutely not.
They're letting life run them over like a freight train.
And then back up and then go over again and back up. It was all doomed from the first game. That first game was just...
It was doomed since the first Cleveland game.
Oh, well...
Not even the first Yankees game. The first Cleveland game, they couldn't score.
Yes and no, but, I mean, god damn. Home runs galore.
When the Yankees had 6.
Yeah, fuck. Matvei Mishkov throws out the first pitch, and that's his introduction to Phillies baseball.
That's
is getting her ass kicked 14-4.
Emblematic, dude.
Yeah.
That is.
And then I think in the other game they had that kid from the Union pitch the first.
Oh, Kevon Sullivan.
Sullivan. He's like 14 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, youngest.
That's crazy. When they showed him throwing the first pitch, I was like, man, he's legit a kid.
Yeah. Well, speaking of throwing a pitch too, man, Mitchkov, they must not have baseball over there because
they don't. They don't.
I mean, the motion was awkward, but he got it in there for a strike. He didn't bounce it.
No, but
it was a pretty admirable first pitch for someone who doesn't know anything about baseball.
They also probably told him don't throw too hard and like mess your arm up.
Yeah.
Come on, he could throw. Anyway, it was just pretty funny.
It's not natural throwing motion.
Yeah, and then they had Hunter Pence last night, I guess.
Yeah.
Long time Philly Hunter Pence.
Yeah. Was here for what? I think a season.
Probably a season and a half,
maybe. They traded him for him in trade deadline 2011. He was gone 2012. He was here in one season.
Yeah. So just all around bad. Speaking of bad, terrible bets were made as well prior to that series.
Yes, sir.
I must have known that there was a sweep. I just got the wrong colors because
you had it twisted up.
The Phillies that got swept, so I have to do 3 shots. I will do throughout the pod. I'll do my first one now, but damn, when they went down 4, I said, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
This is not their mojo got stomped on left and right that game.
Well, to be fair, I didn't think that they were going to get swept. I think I said the Phillies would win 2 out of 3. A little did I know that they would lose all 3. I mean, other than that first game, the series was pretty close. They lost games 2 and 3, relatively close. Would they lose game? They lost yesterday's game by a run.
Yep.
Game 2 by a run too, if I'm not mistaken.
Extra innings.
Tuesday went to extra innings.
Yeah.
Went to a couple extras.
Run out that ball. It's a game right there.
Yeah. So, series was close, but close doesn't matter. What's that old saying? Close only counts in what?
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, and yeah, we ain't talking horseshoes and hand grenades. We're talking baseball.
Well,
yeah.
Let's
Cheers
drink 'em, buddy.
to our
Cheers,
terrible
yeah.
Phillies.
But yeah, things are not going great. Going back to that Cleveland series too, wasn't going great. They have lost their last 5 series.
bad.
They've lost 11 of their last 15.
Yeah, they have not won a series since they swept the Dodgers before the All-Star break.
Yeah, which is crazy to think because they've had
Joe
some winnable
Biden was still
series.
running for president last time they fucking won a series.
It was Trump hadn't even. No one had tried to assassinate
No one tried to
Trump
shoot
yet.
him.
Yeah, they clipped yet. Yeah.
Yeah, what else hadn't happened yet? I don't know.
Man.
But-
A lot of things, but I think, Trevor in the beginning mentioned, is it time to panic or is it just, they're going to bounce back? I think that we're in the in-between, at least in my mind. I think that...
Were you at what number you at on the panic meter?
Oh, I'm at like 7. I mean,
7?
Really?
I'm concerned.
7?
Yeah.
You're usually the one that's, oh, yeah, I ain't worried.
I'm concerned.
7?
I'm not panic mode, but I'm concerned. And I think that the moves that they made before the free agency closed up or whatever they call it, trade deadline, were good. I mean, I like the Hayes move. I think that's a great pickup. It's a shame that his welcome to Philly moment was outshined by just a loss. They did great in building up the bullpen. Terrible series to try to throw those guys into when the bats aren't alive. I'm starting to get very concerned with Harper's performance.
Oh, wow.
I think it is a historical slump for him. Was he 0 for 14 or 0 for 15?
He's 1 for his last 30.
Yeah, so
Damn.
it's just
Brutal.
you expect that from Castellanos, Schwarber,
It's a shame to say you expect that from anyone, but I know
you know what I mean? Like,
Schwarber's going to have some 0 for 20s every now and
it
again.
happens.
Yeah.
Like those are the guys that it sucks. You don't want to see the guys that you're paying millions of dollars to do that, but
no, I know what you mean.
Cassie does it, Schwarber does it. Well, that's kind of just the name of the game with them. Harper, maybe like a 0 for 7 or whatever. He has a bad couple
He might
games.
go 0 for 10 once in a while.
But not this bad, and the way he's been bad. I mean, that bottom of the 9th, you had a man on first, and you double, he's the guy that's supposed to pick this team up. He's in a terrible slump. So yeah, I'm concerned. I'm at a 7 out of 10 for sure.
Wow.
I'm one more bad series away from being panic mode because you look at the guys in our division. We still have a nice, comfortable lead that way for sure. I'm not mad about that. However, it's not a good. We didn't get this large lead to just fumble the bag in these next few months and be lackadaisical. You can be pissed off like Alec Baum was. He got struck out and called the guy pussy, whatever. That's fine.
Harper was mad on Sunday. He missed. He had fouled a pitch back straight down the middle. He just goes, fuck.
Yeah.
You could hear it on the broadcast.
Yeah.
It was audible.
But that's all. They're getting into their mental now. That's not a good. Their composure is gone right now, which is a bad state to be in. Baseball is a game of getting in slumps and getting out of it and swinging through it or whatever you got to do. The team can win. We know what they can do when they're playing at their best and doing well. But, Wheeler giving up 3 or 4 home runs to a premier team is not a great look after having a phenomenal ERA. And we knew that he would regress for sure, but he wasn't giving up dingers. He was giving up, maybe out in the outfield, doubles, bring people in that way.
He had one other game all season where he'd given up 3 home runs.
Yeah. I just think that they're getting kind of away from how they got to this position. Small balls what got them here. Every single person up to bat right now swinging for the fences trying to hit a bomb. And that's not what got us here. And it's getting a bit concerning for sure.
So you're at a 7.
Oh, big time.
Okay.
Yep.
Trevor, where you at?
I'm probably at a 4.
That's where I'm at.
I'm I mean, I ultimately not super concerned. I don't think that our lineup all of a sudden turned into bad baseball players. I do think they'll come out of this. The part that gives me a little bit of pause is that you would think that a team this good, you would hope that the pitching would pick up when the bats are bad, like that other elements of the team could like get you through it or whatever. And this is kind of showing you that they do, while they can all play like the best team in baseball week in and week out, they can also have the capacity to all just fall off a cliff at the same time. And so the concern is, well, fuck, I hope this doesn't happen in October. So it's just, you just kind of have to hope that things roll the right way and they get hot at the right time, which is always the deal with baseball. But, yeah, I mean, it just seems like it's a lot of bad things happening at once. I mean, you have hitters going through a slump, and then you have some expected regression with the pitching, some, like, shaky bullpen work. Yeah, so, I mean, hopefully they come out the other side of it and kind of average out somewhere that's passable and can still make a deep playoff run. But yeah, it's a little concerning. It's definitely made you think maybe this isn't quite as elite of a team that we thought they were in the beginning of the season, but I still think that they're capable of making a deep playoff run. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you at a 4. I think the Stars, ideally, they're not going to be this bad for a while. Harper, I think he'll get out of it. Trey Turner, I think, is who I'm more concerned about. I mean, we saw this last year where a slow start to the season turned into a season-long slump from April till August. So what if this is just the reverse of that, where he's hot from April till August, and then he just is a dud the way he was the first half of last season? His approach at the plate frustrates me. I mean, when it was going good, I wasn't saying anything when he would swing out of the pitch out of the zone and get a hit, or swing first pitch and hit a home run. But now I think teams have started to figure out he's going to go up there and be aggressive, and they aren't giving him anything to hit. I think he's hitting 115 since the All-Star break, and a lot of it is breaking balls out of the zone. It's fastballs up and in. It's fastballs up and away. They're not even pitches that he's going to make good contact on most of the time. And I get it. He has good plate coverage. He's long. He's lanky. He's got good bat speed. But at a certain point, man, you just have to realize, like, these aren't the pitches that are going to result in hard contact. I just need to sit, take my walk, get on base, and use my speed. But yeah, his approach has been frustrating. I'm concerned about JT Realmuto. You realize this, right? So for this season, his slash line, he's batting .258 with a .312 OBP and a .391 slug for a .703 OPS. That's bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
And then it gets worse. So in his last 15, which I think a few of these games include before he went on the DL, or the IL, with his torn meniscus, his last 15 games, he's hitting 169. His OBP is 258. And his OPS is his slug is 203. So he's OPSing 461 in his last 15 games? That's horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
He's supposed to, granted, his prime's behind him. We've said he's caught a lot of games throughout his career. It's going to catch up to him. No one defeats Father Time. But yeah, I mean, best catcher in baseball, he's a shell of that anymore. And they rely on him for a lot of righty production. Who's the other righty bat? Same in Castellanos, really. Castellanos has been doing his thing. Bone's been doing his thing. You need Realmuto to give you something.
Yeah, I think the reason why I'm at a 7 is that we've seen this team, since they've made this quote-unquote super team, start the season pretty poorly and then, get to the All-Star break, and then we're used to watching the teams that were at, 50-plus wins crumble and the Phillies fight back to get in, and you're riding that high of, okay, well, as long as we win the series, we can get 2 games back from the Braves, and we can get into here and be in good positions for the postseason and just get that wild card spot. Since we've had Harper, we haven't really seen how they operate when they're in the driver's seat and they start running out of gas.
That's fair, yeah.
So it's uncharted territory from a fan base to be able to see how they operate. This is our first time seeing this team deal with this kind of regression while they're hot. I mean, it was arguably one of the hottest team we've seen since the mid 08, 07.
I would argue, sorry to cut you off, I would argue we did see that last year in that Diamondback series. Because they steamrolled the Marlins, beat the Braves in 4 or 5 games, whatever.
Yeah.
And went into that D-back series really confident, and then kind of the same thing.
Postseason wise, I'm talking about regular season. Though.
Okay,
like,
okay.
We
so
haven't like.
okay.
I'm talking about like regular season, how they get their mojo back, or at least right now, once you hit the All-Star break, you're thinking about postseason, no matter what. Whether you're a team fighting for a wild card spot or a top team too, thinking about. You can't tell me they're not talking about having that number 1 spot in the National League right now, and what it feels like to lose it. But being on top, similar with the Birds, it's a lot different defending the top of the hill as it is when you're in the fucking trenches trying to grind your way back up there. It's a different kind of camaraderie that you have to build. And if Harper's starting to lose his edge real quick and no one else is going to step up to pick that team up, that's why I'm at a 7, because there's no one that's, we got vibe guys in the locker room. Cool. Stock can make you a little shimmy and people can do some fun shit and dump the bucket of water on whoever else. At the same time, we haven't seen this team deal with adversity when they're at the top of their peak during the regular season going into the playoffs.
That's fair.
So I'm concerned to see how they bounce back because we haven't seen this team deal with this at all in this era. Harper era.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You're right. In the regular season, they're used to having to fight back furiously. Whereas in this case, it's different when you're the hunter instead of the hunted. Or you're the hunted instead of the hunter.
They appreciate the fans when they're on their ass, when they're bad, because they can be better than what they are, and they fight for that, and they get to the postseason, and then it's like, okay, but when you have a expectation now that they've built up, they've put themselves in this position, and now you're underperforming against teams that could potentially be, whether it's World Series matchups or whatever, and you're not just losing series, but you're getting swept, you're getting smoked. I mean, they don't just lose games. They just the team looks defeated when they lost. They're not just 5-4.
Yeah.
That's a bad look. At home.
I mean,
at home.
The other two games in the series, they did lose by a run, but that first game, they got destroyed.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a bad thing to put out there for other teams to see. Like, it's not that it's whatever, but the fact that you got people dancing in the Citizens Bank, like, they want to talk about home field advantage and all this stuff. All of that goes out the window after that. You got a level set. Stop thinking about people hate coming to the bank because, God forbid, we get to the, they turn this around and they somehow get to the World Series.
And it's the Yankees.
And you get the Yankees.
Oh, no.
Come on now.
Oh,
You're not ready for that. They're clearly not prepared to play the Yankees because they can't figure it out. And until they turn the ship around, I'm concerned.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you have a right to be concerned, and I hear you. I think that going back to the beginning of the season, I felt like this was going to be a year where some of the stars showed their age and there was some regression. For the first, what are we going to call it, 4 months of the year, we didn't really see it. I think we're starting to see some of that now, but I think we're seeing it to an extreme.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, JT's, what I say, slash line was 169, 258, 203. He's regressing, but he's a better hitter than that. Harper's probably going to start to regress here in the next year or two, but he's a better hitter than 1 for his last 30. Trey Turner's a better hitter than 115. Zach Wheeler's not going to give up 3-4 home runs every start. So I think we've kind of seen both extremes where we saw them play near 700 winning percentage baseball. Now they're playing whatever 11-4 divided by 15 is, almost 250 percentage. 250 winning percentage baseball. Realistically, they're definitely somewhere in between. Yeah. Probably on the higher end, closer to that 700 team. Probably somewhere in the high 500s as far as their winning percentage is concerned. So I think it'll even out. But yeah, there are some things to be concerned about. JT, one of them. Some of these bullpen pieces, they jettisoned some of them, which we'll talk about in a minute. But even some of the ones that are still here are starting to show some wear and tear and show a little bit of fatigue. So, yeah, I'm at a 4. Let's see how they do on this road trip. I think they need to go 500 on this road trip to restore my faith.
At least.
If they go anything less than that, if they go 4-6, I can probably live with it, depending on how those losses occur. If they go anything less than 4-6, then I'll be up there at a 6 on the panic meter.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
So yeah, I guess we got to talk about these trades. So, what was the first one? Oh, they traded for Hayes.
Yeah.
Hayes.
What'd they give up for him? Seranthony and
who?
And a
Pache.
Pache, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Hayes certainly not the defender that Pache was. The one thing he was good for. But Hayes gives you a big bat, a big-ish bat anyway.
Well, and I think his stats probably don't really show his true potential because the Baltimore's got a pretty good young base and they have clear.
That ballpark also isn't. It's the second least friendly ballpark for right-handed hitters to hit home runs.
They also have been putting their bag in other players and stuff like that. You know, they have a lot of great young talent there, so Hayes kind of got pushed to the wayside. But you saw some of that potential when his first series, you know, as a Philly, which is right there. You know, wind blows a certain way. He has 2 home runs in that series as opposed to 1. 3-run home run shot to, you know, give the team a lift. They lose the game anyway, but he looked good and comfortable at the plate. So I like that pickup.
Yeah, apparently Dombrowski said he was trying to get him for the past 2 seasons or whatever.
Yeah.
Finally got him.
Yeah, and I think initially we thought he was going to be a platoon bat.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because his numbers against lefties are very good.
Plus, I think he's under contract, too, till 2026 or something like that,
Yeah, he's got another year or two on contract.
So he's some stability there as well. It's not just a placeholder or a pickup that way, like a plug and play.
So, yeah, what Rob Thompson said when they traded for him is, is Corey Seidman from NBC Sports Philly tweeted this from Rob Thompson. Austin Hayes will play every day for the Phillies. Brandon Marsh will start in center field versus righties. Rojas in center field versus lefties, but Philly's not calling it a straight platoon. Want to get Rojas enough at ABs as well. So, yeah, it kind of seems like Hayes is going to be your everyday left fielder.
Yeah.
And then you'll see what you want to do in center field. I mean, he's had some decent at-bats against righties. He was an all-star last season. This is from Rob Thompson, too. He said, I'm going to let him go. He was an all-star last year. It's going to cut into Rojas time a little bit. I've talked to everybody. We'll see what happens after 10 days or so and see where we're at. So, yeah, I think Hayes is going to get to play. He's shown enough for me. He's hit some balls well, even though he's only got the 1 home run. He's got good energy. He's no Jazz Chisholm. My boy, who I wanted the Phillies to trade for.
That was just salt in the wound.
Us.
That was just salt in the wound, to be honest. To have the perennial Marlins guy that would kill us every time, then I'll go to the Yankees and have a historic fucking
Jazz Chisholm's the
2
man.
home
dude.
runs back-to-back nights.
I don't care. He's the man.
Oh my god, that just it's
definitely
almost,
one of the best names in baseball.
Definitely,
that's for sure.
He's got swag. He has good energy, which is kind of what this team needs right now.
His gear's kind of cool. Like he's a cool dude, but like if he was with any other team, it'd be fine. But the fact that he went from the Marlins to the Yankees is like fuck.
And then we played the Yankees
right
like after they traded for him.
You just can't get away from this fucking guy.
Nah, he's the man.
And then he goes and hits a homer.
He turned into like Willie Mays in this series, dude. Hitting long home runs, opposite field home runs.
It's the drop of the bat for me.
Yeah, he plays with swag. He plays with energy.
Every home run was just like, yep, left, right. He hit both ways. It just, brutal.
But yeah, Hayes won't be a Jazz Chisholm, but he'll give the team a lift. They kind of need that energy right now. So hopefully they have this day off, fly out to Seattle, get all jacked up, and they come out ready to play tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So yeah, then who else we got?
What
was the next trade?
Estevez.
No, that was
Estevez. You got to say like you're.
It's Estevez. It's not like Emilio Estevez.
No, Estevez. Yeah, Carlos Estevez. From the Angels.
Yes.
Which they gave up 2 good prospects for him, yo.
Yeah, it was definitely they paid a lot, but also
for a rental, he's probably gone after this. I don't.
Yeah.
How you feel? I don't. I'm already telling you
it's
how
hard.
I feel.
It's hard for me to like really care about prospects right now.
You gave up 2 prospects for 2 months of a guy.
His only show, all contract and all that stuff aside, at least when he did show up, he did have 2 strikeouts, which was good. I mean, it's not like in that series, everybody was giving a home run to everybody and their mother. The fact that he showed up there on a short week, flew into Philly, played, had 2 strikeouts in a crucial game, which we could have pulled out and won, it gives you optimism. I mean, we'll see how it pans out in future series for sure. It's hard. There's not a big. There's no big like case study really for us to tell how it would pan out compared to prospects.
Klassen was the one they gave. Who was the other guy?
He was going to be the first Italian-born pitcher to pitch in the major leagues since 1957, I think. Samuel Aldegheri.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. He was gonna be the one, dude. It's like, I'm not Italian, but if you're Italian, he was gonna be the one for you.
That must be disappointing for a lot of South Philly residents.
Yeah, but they gave him up. Klassen had more upside, but the Phillies were pretty excited about both of them. My thing with Estevez, right, is he got outs in Game 2. He came in and threw. Every out was a deep fly ball to center field. They were smacking the ball off him, and they just hit it right at people. And what do you call it? Shio Kapadia brought this up on his podcast today. Estevez has given up 2 home runs this year. He gave up 2 home runs to the Phillies. One off Castellanos, that's fine. Someone probably died, or something probably happened right before that happened. You know who he gave up the other home run to on the Phillies? Did you listen to this? Yeah, you listened to this already.
Well, I saw people tweeting about this.
Johan Rojas had a home run off this guy.
He just wasn't thinking about it. That's all.
He's gonna fix things for us. When Rojas, all of 4 career home runs, 2 of which are off of position players pitching, this guy's gonna fix it for us. And we gave up 2 prospects for 2 months.
Sometimes guys hit home runs off people. I remember when Freddie Galvis hit a home run off of Aroldis Chapman.
I do remember that
in his prime.
Yeah,
So that shit happens.
I don't know. I'm not thrilled about the Estevez move. Time will tell. I mean, the prospects probably aren't going to pan out too much. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm not too high on him. Probably better than Sir Anthony. I didn't feel great about Sir Anthony, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not super thrilled about that one.
Yeah, and then they ship out Gregory Soto to... That was also to Baltimore, right?
In a separate trade. Apparently, Baltimore wanted him in the first trade.
Okay.
But the Phillies said no. Then the Phillies... So this is interesting, actually. This is Matt Gelb was on this like white on rice, dude. So apparently, this is wild. So there was a night against the Rockies on April 17th where they trusted Soto to get some outs in like a 5-run game. He recorded 1 out. He allowed 5 runs. And then Gelb goes on to say, after the game, Thompson scolded Soto, who had voiced his frustration about how he was used. There would be no more complaining about low-leverage situations, the manager said in not-so-certain terms. The Phillies were never sure they could trust Soto, whom they dealt to the Orioles minutes before Tuesday's trade deadline. But beginning in June, he started to pitch better. He kept asking for more late-inning chances, so before the All-Star break, the Phillies decided to reward him. They'd see what it looked like. He could not throw strikes on consecutive nights in Minnesota. Soto tumbled down the bullpen depth chart again. Phillies then began to think about how they could replace him. And then fast forward to a couple minutes before the trade deadline, and they're like, all right, Baltimore, you wanted him initially, you can take him.
Yeah.
And then they got a couple decent prospects back. I won't bore people that don't care about prospects because they might not amount to much. But they got something for Soto, which is cool.
Yeah, and then they traded for
Tanner
Banks.
Who he seems good, dude.
Yeah.
He's given up a 492 OPS against lefties.
Yeah, he's really good against lefties. So he'll
versus Soto's numbers while we're here. A 4.42 ERA in 95 2/3 innings with the Phillies. That ERA ranked 99th out of 112 relievers with at least 80 innings pitched.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I remember I was excited when they got him too.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to be pretty good for us, and well, that's relief pitchers for you.
Yeah, it's a very volatile.
Never know what you're going to get.
But yeah, they also have liked Banks for a long time, Dombrowski said. He said, our people have pushed for him. We like his stuff. He's been really effective versus left-handed hitters this year. He's one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball in that regard, so we thought he was a better fit for our bullpen at this time than Soto was. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of like the Banks move. I think he'll give you a little more stability. Someone that you can rely on to actually get lefties out. Soto could sometimes. Other times, Soto couldn't find the strike zone, even though he's throwing 99. He just had horrible command some games. So, overall, I like the moves. The Estevez one, I'm lukewarm about. Other than that, I feel pretty good about them. Are they going to save the team? Hell no. The Stars got a hit.
It's also a tough series to come back to after you get all these new guys and you start off against the Yankees. It's not the easiest thing to go into the throes with, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the Stars just got to show up, man. It doesn't matter they could have picked up Randy Johnson in his prime. If the stars don't show up, man, Randy Johnson's going to lose a lot of 1-0, 2-1 games. It doesn't matter.
Well, only way to go from here is up. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got
that's it.
Seattle next.
Yeah, 3 games at Seattle, 3 games at the Dodgers. You know they're going to be looking for revenge. And then the NLCS rematch, man, 4 at Arizona.
Never like playing there.
No.
It's always bad.
Yeah.
So it's the 3, off the top of my head anyway, I don't know. I don't know if this is correct or not. The 3 stadiums I feel like the Phillies play worse in the NL are Pittsburgh. They just got out of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's one of them.
San
The
Francisco,
Giants,
yeah.
and then Arizona. They never play well in any of those 3 ballparks. Everywhere else, they kind of hold their own, I feel like. Those 3 stadiums stick out in my mind as 3 stadiums that they never play well in.
Yeah, regardless if the teams are good or not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, they need to go at least 5-5. They can go 4-6 if the 6th loss is a close game. They lose a game in the 12th inning. Okay.
They're going to get smoked when they play the Dodgers.
Yeah, the Dodgers are looking for revenge.
They're going to get smoked.
But, yeah, they need to go 5-5. If they get swept by the Dodgers are probably going to be first place in the NL. Then I'm panicking. Then I'm probably at a 7 or an 8.
I'm not panicking. I'm concerned at 7.
Well,
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
Well, no.
It's an elevated concern.
Panic
not a
is 10. Panic is 10.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
true. It's
concerned.
the panic meter.
5, I'm chilling. 6, 7, I'm concerned.
Okay. Yeah, I mean...
But there's no 8 or 9. It goes from 7 to 10. It's like 7 to panic mode. There's no like, oh, well, I'm flirting with a 9 point... No, fuck that.
Yeah,
I'm 7.
I'm at about it's like a pitchfork score.
Yeah.
I'm at a 9.8. Can't give it a perfect 10. It's not like Kid A by Radiohead.
Yeah, I'm sweating. Like,
Level
I'm not
panic.
panicking. I'm not panicked. I'm not upset. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just from 7 to 10. All right.
Big time. I mean, I went from last week to I'm good.
Yeah, you
like,
were
no big deal. I'm chilling.
Y'all were the 2 last week that were like, oh, yeah, I'm not that concerned. I was like, there's a reason to be concerned, y'all.
No, but see, I wasn't concerned, but now I'm concerned. But my concern is 0 to 7. I don't go in the whole in between.
You don't
bullshit.
go all the way up to 10.
Nah, I don't teeter. I'm now like booing.
You go from 0.
I'm throwing shit on the field. I'm like, yo, get your ass together real quick. Here, come on now.
You're calling Trey Turner.
Somebody get
You're
the moms
disguising your
involved.
voice
Yeah.
as his mom, like, hi, Trey.
Call up all of fucking Bryce Harper's Mormon wives. Give him a call. Figure it out. Let's go to Haddonfield. Let's fucking shit in a brown bag.
Bryce Harper's harem.
Acting like we don't know where he lives. Come on, dog. We know, dude. Sirianni,
Does he
Trey
live
Turner,
in Haddonfield?
wherever. Yeah, somewhere in
Right.
Jersey. It's Nick
Harper
It's
lives in
It's
Haddonfield?
Sirianni. It's Harper.
Yeah,
it's
they
Trey
probably
Turner.
are neighbors.
They are. I drove by their house.
probably
Not
pa-
recently.
it's probably-
yeah.
Like just an hour ago.
Yeah.
It's probably the pander capital of the world, dude.
I will throw a bag of shit in their yard tomorrow.
Yo, Mishkov's going to move there. He's going to be a world-class pander. Him, Sirianni, and Harper
Yeah.
going to be neighbors, dude.
And Turner.
Turner's not a panderer, though.
Well,
He'll still live there, I guess, but he's not a panderer.
but we're one loss away from a bag of shit. If he goes over whatever it is again next game,
He's going to have a big road trip. You heard it here
well,
first.
he better.
I hope so. And they
he
need
needs
him.
to.
Yeah.
We really need him to do that. Not,
Yeah, no.
oh,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
has to. Well, not we hope so. He has to do something. But I think that's it. I can't get too worked up about the Phillies anymore.
All right, yeah, I think... do I have anything else here? No. I'm good. We'll see what happens. We'll see how they look when we come back here next week.
Yeah.
So I guess what we want to move on to here. I mean, I guess the Eagles
Yeah, let's
are
hit the
doing
Eagles.
things.
Yeah. Open practice at the Link tonight.
Yeah.
50,000+ people in there, packed house, watching people
Man.
practice.
Got the pads on now.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, it's always fun to have the Birds back in the city and have the fans get back reinvigorated, But it's like a naked preseason game. Like, people are just walking around, practicing, doing whatever they got to do. But heard a lot of good reports. Kellen Moore's had nothing but praise for Jalen Hurts. Same with Sirianni, that he really is owning the offensive scheme and seeming like he's taking control of what they're trying to operate,
Apparently
which
he's
is
looked
good to
great.
hear.
Yeah, he's been balling, apparently.
People do like the whole stupid shit where like he threw 2 picks this time last year in OTAs or training camp.
Now, you can't look at it like that,
No,
though.
but when you hear this shit come out, like, whether it's Elliott, whoever else is the beat
Yeah,
writer.
Elliott loves tracking everything, dude.
He was like, well, this time last year he had all his picks. This year he's got no picks yet, which is great. I don't give a shit about that. But Quinyon Mitchell dogging up A.J. Brown.
Did you see the one clip they posted?
Yeah.
Where he, forced him out of bounds?
Yep.
He was on him the whole route.
And A.J. Brown's been saying that he's been trying to get Quinyon Mitchell to, break and snap at him, and he can't quite get under his skin. But Quinyon Mitchell's been locking him down the whole entire time.
No, he seems kind of unflappable. I'm starting to like him a lot.
He had A.J. in that one clip when A.J. Brown caught that almost touchdown in the corner of the end zone.
Where he's out of bounds, yeah.
Where A.J. Brown's like, well, I almost had a touchdown. He's like, well, you're right about that matter. Like, I push him. He's smart. It's fun to see competition where you have rookies going up against an all-pro, a perennial all-pro Pro Bowler, a guy coming out of Toledo, and is holding his own against our best receiver. And A.J. Brown, after saying that, is like, Devontae Smith has looked unstoppable, too.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently Sirianni was raving today. It's like he catches everything, his preparation, every route he runs is perfect. He's just always on point. Sirianni, I think everyone's saying he's due for a big season. Not to say his last 3 years haven't been great. He's caught damn near 1,000 yards every season.
I mean, he's a Heisman Trophy. I mean, it's, people forget that, you think about
I think people focus so much on A.J. Brown, which rightfully so.
Right, as you should.
But Devontae Smith would be the number one receiver on 28 other teams.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be the number one receiver.
He made a lot of sad Giants fans punch a hole in their wall on draft night. Let's not forget about that.
Shout out Devontae Smith. Yeah, he'd be the number one receiver anywhere but obviously here. Cincinnati with Jamar Chase. Minnesota with Jefferson. And Miami with Tyreek Hill. Everywhere else, he's the first receiver in the depth chart.
Or the Raiders, too, probably. With
He's one of only 3 Heisman Trophy winning wide receivers.
We got to watch fucking receiver.
And I think people don't...
Yeah, we do need to
people
watch
don't
that.
appreciate
Did you see that clip that was going around with...
Who did they pick?
Justin Jefferson.
Well, it was like Devontae Adams was one of them.
Oh,
and
he was pissed.
And there's a clip of him being like, "I've never get hit this much in my life." He was just so bad. I was like,
I've seen a couple clips on Instagram. I didn't know that's what that was from.
Yeah. He was one of. I forget who else it was, but
Justin
Jefferson's the other one.
Yeah.
Who's the third one? It's got to be someone that no one knows.
Got to be a scrub.
Yeah.
Got to be a scrub.
Yeah.
Because there's no. It's like how Kirk Cousins got in, or Mariota got in there, I should say.
It's probably like
a Jalen Reagor.
On the same team? The fuck?
Nah, it's probably Sterling Shepard. It's like, the Giants got plenty of airtime with Hard Knocks. It's probably... Who's butt? Man, there's a lot of butt receivers in the NFL. Who's really bad? It's like, I shouldn't say really bad. He's a lot better receiver than I am. Cedric Wilson.
No, isn't it?
It's
George Kittle.
Deebo Samuel.
He's a tight end.
He's a receiver.
Yeah, he receives the ball. There's no tight end thing.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You have 2 guys from the same team?
Yeah. I don't really understand that either.
But
it'll be fun to watch when the Niners lose in the Super Bowl, though.
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, we do need to watch that.
Yeah, because we had to endure watching quarterback and seeing the Eagles lose during the Mahomes segment, so it's only right that we get to watch.
So that's our podcast homework for the next couple
What do you have, 25 yards, too? He didn't do shit in that game, too?
George Kittle's overrated.
He was ass.
Yeah, no, we do need to watch that.
But
Cornwall.
Damn, I think...
You heard it here.
Training camp looking pretty good. Receivers look solid. Testing the young bucks, which is great to have. You figure you built up the secondary to try to lock down good receivers, and the guys they're playing against every day is A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. That's a phenomenal, Yeah,
that iron sharpens iron,
exactly.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate the fact that this training camp, it's early, but there hasn't been a lot of drama.
Yeah.
You can think of training camps past where someone gets hurt right away, or it's Carson Wentz is pissed about Nick Foles, or you know what I mean. It feels like there's been controversy a lot in the past few.
Well, the only drama that's really been in this whole team and all season stuff has usually been in either front of house or coaching staff. It's never really been about the players at all since we lost Wentz.
That's true.
It's never been like, oh, Hurts hates Kenny Pickett. No one's afraid. People know that Hurts is going to be the guy. people know their roles as a quarterback, which is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a discrepancy in the old. I don't know, but there isn't
anything at the forefront. Like it isn't
no
like
player. Even Bradbury's like, listen, I'm on the team still. I'm playing with the twos. I'm still here.
Yeah, I
I'll
switched
see if,
to safety.
He's not like I'm one of the best corners in the NFL. I should be a starter. He's like, listen, I'm just happy to be playing. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. You look at John Ross. He's like, my kids get to watch me play football, and I'm happier than I've ever been. Like, there's no ego at all across any position player, across the whole team.
Yeah, they've built a really strong culture.
The only drama is, will Sirianni be here after the end of the year or not? It's the only. But
well, that's not anything you're going to solve in training camp either.
And that's not going to win you games or not.
Goes.
It doesn't matter. That shit happens everywhere you look in the NFL. It's going to be, well, will this coach be here if they get 10-4, whatever it is, or if they make the playoffs to go to the Super Bowl? But the players as a whole, they're locked in right now, and they're having fun.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the vibes a lot.
Did you guys see the Steelers fight that broke out or whatever?
I heard about it. I didn't see.
I guess
someone was talking. What someone said to Justin Fields, like, yeah, that's why.
No, wasn't it the Titans?
No, it was the Steelers.
No, it was the Steelers. Someone was like, "That's
I think
why
someone hit Justin Fields, and people got mad.
He was
like, "You're not really supposed to hit the quarterback."
But then someone was like, "That's why you a backup to him."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then that. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he is Russell Wilson's backup. That's wild. They have them two guys at quarterback.
Yeah, it's a weird team.
I was at a bar the other day.
They'll still find a way to have a winning record because it's fucking Tomlin.
Yeah, Tomlin's the man, dude. One of my favorite non-Eagles coaches.
Definitely.
I got mad respect for Tomlin.
Continuity. I mean, that franchise as a whole has had, 3 coaches in the last 90 years?
Yeah, Tomlin's
damn near.
G, dude.
And they've dealt with bullshit. I mean, you go through quarterbacks and stuff like that, but you got Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. What a weird quarterback room in there.
Yeah, that's got to be egos clashing.
Yeah.
So, but that's why we don't have that, and we ain't having fights in training camp. There'll inevitably be a fight.
The last fight I saw at a training camp was when they were still practicing at Lehigh, and it was Todd Herman against a linebacker, and Todd Herman picked this dude up from the shoulder pads, picked up midair and body slammed him, and no one else got involved because they were like, well, I think Herman's juicing today. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it was just a weird. It was wild, but it was cool. There was
the one last year. It was during joint practices. It was Kelsey and Zaire Franklin, the linebacker for the Colts, who's from here. There was that one, but that wasn't inner team, right? It's 2 different teams. So
the last inner team one I saw was, and that was Andy Reid. We're talking, I don't know.
I feel like there's been
ago?
squabbles, but there hasn't been one that busted out like that Steelers one in a while. But yeah, man, I'm feeling good about it. We got, what do you call it, Tyler Steen. He's going to be out for a little while, paving the way for your boy, Mekhi Becton.
If he shows up, I think he's getting a lot of playing time next Thursday, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think.
Or whatever the 8th is. I think that's that Thursday.
Yeah,
Thursday.
Yeah, that's
my
next
birthday.
Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, so I think Becton's got a path, man. I mean, they've been playing him all over the O-line, but if Steen's out...
They picked up that guard who
he's been
bounced around for a little bit,
dude,
but that's just a camp body
that's
for
a
me.
depth signing. Listen to this. My man's had so many injuries.
He's a camp body. I don't need to get into details, but I think that Becton, I think they had to bring him in just in case, people get hurt or whatever, but Becton is the guy. You don't go after a guy like that with our O-line and Stoutland if you don't think you're going to build him up to be a starter. And Becton has the pedigree to be that man. He got to stop puking. He got to cut weight. He showed up to camp completely out of shape. So, he's going to get his ass worked out a lot in these preseason games. And we'll see what he can do. But he's got a lot right on his shoulders right there. He'll be a huge guard, which would be odd. He's like 6'7".
I mean, Brandon Brooks was like 6'6", though.
But it's Brandon Brooks. I mean, that guy, he knew how to play.
They're both big dudes.
He was a Pro Bowl, All-Pro. He was never like a, oh man, we got to shape this man to be a Pro Bowler. We got him already at a Pro Bowl level caliber player. Like, it was the easy money for us. Like picking up, what's it called? Who was our left tackle? Jason Peters. Like when he was from Buffalo,
It's comparable.
It wasn't
it's not
like
quite the same, but it's comparable.
he played for a shitty team. He was overlooked, but he was still a Pro Bowl caliber player. Becton, he looks like he doesn't want to.
Well, Becton's had the pedigree.
He's got the pedigree, but he looks like his head isn't in the game. Where this could be the team that like.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the time last year against us when he pancaked someone
and he pointed.
His head was in the game that day.
Well, yeah,
dude.
it's unfortunate. They were like, you know what? Howie said we got to get him on our team real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Howie watched that film and he's like, "Oh, this guy's a beast." But nah, man, I feel good about Becton. I wouldn't put him on the same level of Brandon Brooks in terms of a player,
Right.
but in terms of size and
Right.
similar body types, he's there. He's probably not as agile. Maybe he can make up for that with being larger. Who knows? But
He's pushing. Who was that guy we got that was a massive something King?
King Dunlap?
He's pushing.
King Dunlap was a big man.
He has the potential to be in between King Dunlap and Brandon Brooks.
Yeah, King Dunlap wouldn't have a decent career now.
Never a Pro
Never
Bowler.
a Pro Bowler, but he had a long career.
He was ass with us, though. I'll tell you what, because he was too big and he couldn't figure out.
He was massive.
He could not figure out how to play. But Brandon Brooks could figure out his weight size, where Becton could be. If you get him in the middle of that, we're looking okay. We're playing with house money there. We're all right. King Dunlap was a bum for the Eagles. He was ass.
Yeah.
He was like
did not live up to his royal name.
He was 6'9".
King Dunlap would have been better out 10.
He was a big. Damn, he played 98 games in his career.
He was out there saying, "I just want to pet the rabbits." He out here like
he had an 8-year career.
Yeah, well,
he was huge, 6'9".
Too big.
That's a big man. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Ass.
I forgot about King Dunlap. That's a deep cut, dude.
Yeah, come on now. I got that. I got the O-line in my head.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like a King Dunlap.
Folks, tell me another Philly sports podcast where you're going to hear some stories about King Dunlap.
I mean, you can't forget that name. You hear that name, you're like,
absolute
fuck.
unit.
Yeah.
With a name like King, you better be a unit.
Yeah,
what if he showed up and he was like 5'10", 300 pounds? That's no King.
See,
man.
but that's the difference between
that's
Howard Mudd compared to Jeff Stoutland. Howard Mudd was his coach at the time. Couldn't really develop players like that. He developed Kelsey for sure, but potential's there. We'll see what happens.
I saw Kelsey on the pregame show for that Bears
for the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah,
how was he?
He was fine. He was pretty good. He was also still wearing a beret from the Olympics.
Is he still in Paris?
I mean, I guess he was back wherever they're doing the ESPN thing.
Damn, he's a busy man these days.
Yeah, he's moving all over the place. Yeah,
that's true. It's probably easier than being in the NFL. Good for him.
Yeah.
Do we have any other Eagles? I feel like I had one other Eagles thing. Nick Gates, man. No, I don't have anything else.
Nothing really.
Yeah.
Nothing else
Camp
we're
looks
talking
good.
about.
They're staying healthy. No drama. That's all you can really ask for at this time. You're a week into training camp.
Yeah.
No
one get hurt.
No one get hurt. Everybody, no one be a prima donna. Everyone's chilling, and that's all you can hope for. We got preseason coming up next week. First game against Baltimore. It doesn't really matter what the outcome is as long as someone gets injured, but I'd like to see some of the young guys kind of show out. I've heard Nolan Smith was popping off. He got 2 sacks in practice the other day.
Yeah, I just hear he's been doing pretty good.
I think he's starting to look better.
Yeah.
Quinyon's been looking good, like you said. Jalen Carter, but we already knew that.
Right.
Yeah.
Who else has looked good? Who else? Linebackers, Nakobe Dean, I think he's flashed as a blitzer.
Yeah.
Which is good. He's finding a role in the defense.
That's fine.
And then offensively, I mean, it's kind of just business as usual.
It is who they are.
Covey's looked the best of the slot receiver candidates so far.
Interesting.
I like him at slot.
Dude,
Not Paris Campbell?
Nah, Covey's been looking good the past few practices, the beat reporter said. Which, hey, you need that shifty, little white slot receiver,
the
dude.
shifty white slot receiver.
Cole Beasley,
I missed my calling.
Wes
Welker.
Welker.
Yeah,
Even Covey said, he's like, I watched some Cole Beasley film recently.
He was a little dirty rat, man. He'd kill us all the time.
No, he was an asshole.
Yeah.
He really was an asshole.
Well,
Remember when he released rap songs?
I was just gonna say, if he really wants to be like Cole Beasley,
Yep.
then he's gonna have to release an album.
Yeah, and Covey's gonna have to become very staunchly anti-vax. And,
grow out his hair, be all weaselly and nasty.
Yeah, he
looking.
was a weasel.
He was a weasel, man. But he would kill us all the time.
Oh, yeah. Those underneath routes, those drag routes, those crossers, those slants from the slot. He would kill you. He's a good receiver. He had a long career.
Yeah.
Covey has that potential, though. Yeah, Covey's been flashing. Who else? I think that's probably it on the offense. I'll be interested to see what they...
Campbell's got wide receiver 3 all but locked down.
Oh, Grant Calcaterra's got tight end, too. Apparently, he's been balling, dude.
Nice.
What do you call it? Uzoma's been Okwuegbunam's been even worse.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just need hands in camp at that point, you know?
I don't know why he was one of the first people they brought back, Okwuegbunam. He bought, dude.
Yeah, probably cheap deal.
Cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about all,
But
though.
It's, yeah.
But
What it is.
I think that's it on the Birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got we'll preview the big preseason game next week.
Yeah. When do they play?
Next Thursday. Oh, well, we
can do.
I don't know. We'll have to figure out what our schedule looks like.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I guess what else is going on? Embiid playing in
the Olympics. Sixers.
You mentioned that, like, is it a concern that they haven't been playing him or he played subpar against Serbia? It's the fucking Olympics.
I mean, it honestly doesn't really matter. And it's like, I'm not going to complain as a Sixer fan that he's getting benched because it's like, all right, that's fine. You can just chill.
Just don't get hurt.
Just have a good time, enjoy yourself, and don't get injured. That's fine with me. Yeah, but it is just funny how people just on social media just cannot stop talking about Embiid. It's just like whether he's playing, whether he's not playing. Well, everyone's always got something to say.
Apparently, every time too he gets on the court too, they just boo his ass.
Oh yeah, because the French hate him. But dude. The fact that he's made enemies with the French is great. I love that. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a fun little dynamic.
Yeah, he didn't play for them, so they're upset.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. They
Too
can
bad,
be mad.
losers.
But yeah, I mean, it's not a concern that he's not playing. I don't want him to get hurt. To be fair, I did want to watch the Olympics and see him play. I was pretty excited for that Serbia game on Sunday morning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll get back into a game.
Yeah.
Like,
Steve Kerr said he's going to play the next game. It's just South Sudan's not a good matchup for him, which I guess I get that.
Yeah. I mean, the game before that, Tatum didn't play at all.
Yeah, and even when Tatum played, he only had 4 points. He looked butt.
Yeah. So it is
but people love to make a big deal out of Embiid because it's Embiid.
Yeah.
Tatum did say it was like humbling though that he didn't get that he didn't play because you get Sports Illustrated Person of the Year, whatever it is, championship, all this other stuff. Yeah,
he needs to be humbled. He's not even the best player on his team.
Your first Olympic game, and they're like, "We're not going to play." He's like, "Oh, what?" But it's good. Like, yeah, you're not like.
What do you think? What corny thing do you think Jason Tatum's going to say if they win the gold?
USN Day. I don't know. Probably some stupid shit.
I'm trying to think of something Kobe or MJ would have said. I can't think anything. We'd have to go back and watch the tape and see what Kobe and MJ said when they won. Again, that's what he's going to say.
It's the Olympics. I don't think they say like.
No, I'm sure they probably do.
Not. Again, though,
you're getting a gold medal to represent your country. You definitely are saying something
for sure. But like the fact that like there's something that comes to mind that's like anything is possible or anything like that. Like
we did it.
There's no Olympic like not for nothing. There's no Olympic NBA like basketball moment where you're like, oh my god, I remember when MJ lifted the gold medal. It's
well, Tatum's going to go look at pictures of what MJ or Kobe did when they won, and he's just going to ask people to take pictures of him doing the same thing.
Right. He might wear or do some stupid shit, but he ain't going to say. There's nothing to say. Like,
especially he's not going to be a contributor.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, would you be Argentina? Woo! What the fuck?
Well, yeah. If he was LeBron and he was contributing, that's one thing. He's rode the bench the first game and had 4 points the second game.
In your prime, you got a 30-plus-year-old LeBron doing crazy shit. Even Anthony Davis out there playing crazy ball.
When KD came into that game on Sunday, that was nuts.
Yeah.
KD came in and just started shooting the lights out.
It was perfect.
That was vintage KD. I was losing my mind on a Sunday morning.
He was perfect.
Yeah, he was 8 of 8 for 21 points in like 16 minutes.
It was nuts.
Just everything. Contested threes, contested pull-ups, 30-footers. It just buckets, just giving it to him. That was wild.
It's good to see the USA team finally, I don't know, do their little thing. And you kind of get bored seeing them win all the time. But having not won it last time, it's good to see, like, okay.
Well, they did win last time.
They did win last time?
Yeah, they beat
They
France
lost in FIBA.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking about.
But
their last international appearance, I should say.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, as far as Embiid's concerned, I was pretty discouraged by what I saw in that game against Serbia. He came out, they tried to get him involved early, missed his first couple shots, missed a couple free throws. So I was like, oh, that looks like a Game 7 in Boston Embiid. That's exactly what it reminded me of. He just looked scared, he looked shook, was second-guessing himself. He set some good screens. The second half, he got engaged. He had a couple nice rebounds. He had a mean block in the second half. Had an assist or two. He started to show up, but it was just, I don't know. The FIBA style of play isn't conducive to his style of play. Like, I'll go ahead and say it. Because, man, think about it. Embiid, except for maybe his first couple of years in the league, was never that spry running up and down the court, like doing crazy things, like running a fast break. He can still do it, but he doesn't do it that often. Now, man, it's like so much of FIBA is just spread the floor. It's 5 out. You have 4 out and maybe 1 center that can also shoot. Embiid's not comfortable hanging out on the perimeter for that long. So this style of play doesn't really fit him. Against certain teams it might. But against South Sudan, even against Jokic can spread the floor a little bit. Jokic kind of owned him that game. It's not his style of play. So if he doesn't end up playing that much in the Olympics, so be it. He'll finally get the experience of winning something and he won't get hurt. And people will be mad and talk about him online, and France will be mad that he's a French citizen that isn't playing for their team, but so what? His son's not French, his son's American.
That's right.
Get loud.
USA, baby.
Game's a game, dog.
Who cares?
But LeBron's been fun to watch in these games, too.
Oh, yeah, he's been balling.
Yeah, LeBron's been hooping.
Steph, well, he had a bad game the last game.
Steph was off, too, but no one's talking about that.
Yeah.
But it's Steph, it's different. But not many people are talking about Tatum only scoring 4 points the game after he didn't play at all.
Or Booker being ass, or anybody else not really performing. I mean, there's only the same guys, and half the guys that you mentioned are like 32-plus years. Like, they're old cats. They're not like...
The guys carrying this team are the geezers. They're older than me.
Yeah.
They're the 3 guys really carrying this team are the 3 guys older than me.
Steph, LeBron.
And KD.
Yeah. It's always fun watching KD be prime KD, though. Like, that guy's...
It was nuts, man. That was wild.
That was like 2018 Golden State right there.
They weren't sure if he was going to play, and he shows up and scores 21 points in 16 minutes on 8 of 8.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's a hooper. But yeah, the U.S. plays... Who do we play tomorrow?
In the knockout round.
Who's the U.S. play tomorrow?
We just beat Germany, so we probably play... Not Spain?
Was it Germany? We just beat South Sudan. Who do we play tomorrow, Trevor? You got it pulled up over there? Is it Australia? Oh, no, it's Puerto Rico.
I mean, come on now.
Puerto Rico plays fast, but they're not that good of a team otherwise.
They can't be that big either.
Nah, I don't think. They have a couple NBA guys. I don't think Puerto Rico's that good. I'm like 90% sure it's Puerto Rico.
Speaking of getting to the knockout round, though, we'll say the men's U.S. soccer team.
Puerto Rico on the third.
First time getting to the knockout round in 20 years.
Yeah, I was watching that game.
Yeah.
I forget what day it was. A couple days ago I was watching it.
They couldn't do shit in the fucking... what's that thing they just were in that they lost? The Copa America?
Oh, the soccer tournament?
Yeah, they got smoked in that, but now they first time making it to the knockout round in 20 years? All right.
Hey, they need to redeem themselves.
Well, they're watching now. They got to watch that women's tape because the women's soccer team's
the women's soccer team's
on fire,
balling, dude.
Yeah.
The women's hoops team's balling, too.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to the women's hoops team, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they played tonight, didn't they?
Yeah, they played today. I was watching it during work whenever I had a minute. They were hooping. Asia Wilson's the god, dude. And she's beautiful.
Oh, don't be blushing. Now look at them.
Hey, Asia Wilson's like,
I think rosy cheeks over there.
I think she's dating Bam Adebayo, so I ain't getting on there. But anyway.
It's the women of the Olympics of the U.S. team that have been bringing us back to gold because you think of the gymnastics teams, all gold.
Oh, Simone Biles, we were talking about her before.
Simone Biles, Katie Ledecky. Yeah. I mean, all them cats have been doing up their thing.
You know how you say someone was hooping if they're playing basketball or ball and they're playing football? What do you say when someone's swimming and they're doing good?
They're
They're
splashing.
kicking. They're splashing.
They're splashing.
Yo, she was
Splish
splashing.
splash.
They do splash a lot because they're
Katie
always
Ledecky was
Yeah.
splashing.
their arms are always like they're.
Yeah, she was
You ever
splashing.
seen that video of her doing laps while balancing like a glass of water on top of her head?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a glass of
fucking
milk.
crazy. Yeah, it's like a glass of
Yeah,
like milk or whatever.
she got
yeah.
milk on her head.
And she
And just-
swims a lap with milk on
it's
her head?
It's a
Yeah.
pint glass of milk like this,
and it
she
doesn't
just
move?
a
No,
whole
she
wa-
just like she's able to keep her head like completely still while just swimming pretty fast.
I couldn't even do that just walking.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, it was,
I couldn't even do that just sitting here.
yeah, she's nuts.
I got a resting tremor. I can't even do that drinking it. I'd be
No.
spilling that shit before.
Oh, I can do it like this.
All right, now jump in a
Yeah.
pool and
now,
swim for.
now it's try to.
Yeah, that's the impressive part.
That's why she won that race by 12 seconds.
Dude,
Wild.
The one screenshot I saw, she's at the finish line. No one's even on the screen. Everyone
Yeah.
else is so far behind her, they aren't even on the screen.
She was already drying off.
Yeah, she was already in the locker room doing an interview.
That's why Michael Phelps was like, "Listen, I've won my races, but she's the GOAT swimmer of the
Yes,
U.S. Like
she's
I
gangster,
can't.
dude.
He's never Michael Phelps, phenomenal athlete, most decorated U.S. athlete of all time. But I've never seen a clip of him be 12 seconds ahead of his second place person. Like what? Nuts.
Like, how can someone humanly swim that fast? How's that humanly possible?
You gotta call Katie Ledecky.
I mean, I can swim to save my life, but if anyone or anything's chasing me, I'm done.
Her parents had one
She
crazy
needs to
night.
start giving everyone swimming lessons.
They had one crazy night at a dive bar, and his swimmers were that fast that he was like, you know what, we're destined to be something great. And that was it. It produced that. A
Yeah, she's a
swimmer.
beast, dude. Who else is a beast? Simone Biles we were talking about?
Yeah,
They changed the
Gangster.
rules for her.
Gangster.
still getting golds.
She got gold. I was saying this outside. There's people that say things that are like, you know, you're a generational talent, which assumes that, like, you know, back in the 60s when they're doing like one backflip, they're like, wow, gold medal, here you go. They've changed the rules for this woman in her field of work in gymnastics. She's made her own moves. 3 different moves now have her own name associated to it because no one else has ever done that in the
Yeah.
history of gymnastics. And she's still winning golds. So she in her own self made the game more difficult for everybody else to come forward to play. Killed it at that. Made her own new tricks to beat that score. And she's still winning it. After taking 4 years off.
Yeah, last time that was
Right.
a big deal. Yeah, I
Last
remember that.
Olympics, she could have been in there. Called it quits for mental health. Shout out for that. Great thing for her, you know, doing her thing with that. But it's not like you're like, oh, I'll be back there next year. She took off 4 years to get back in there and is still winning gold medals. That's
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah, and killing it. Like these Olympics, she's like tweaked an ankle.
Yeah.
Had to get it all wrapped up. Came out later in that, whatever you call them when it's gymnastics, that set.
They had that
Came out and
foursome.
won it.
Yeah, it's a foursome where she like had that busted up ankle. 3 out of 4 already won their selected field. She came in there on a busted ass ankle and won that thing too, and they won a gold. It's
She's
incredible.
She's the sure shot,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, shout out to Olympic sports, man. I just love. I can wake up early in the morning, work day, like a Thursday like today. I can put some TV on and see some Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, Sunday morning, kind of hungover like I was on Saturday after Nichols Tavern. Shout out Nichols Tavern.
Hell yeah.
Monday morning, have a beer, get to work, watch the game.
I don't do that.
No, I'm kidding.
Some people I work with listen to this pod. They need to know I
have
don't
a
do
couple
that.
beers, watching the Olympics, and go to my job driving SEPTA buses.
Well, hey,
no, train. At least it's all the same track. You just
yeah, train's
Yeah,
different.
you just press a button.
yeah.
It's fine.
The Amtrak guy's like, I didn't mean to crash the train, but the Olympics were on.
Yeah.
I
Who's Simone
appreciate.
Biles?
I appreciate waking up and be able to watch sports. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think the U.S. women's basketball
Sha'Carri
team
Richardson.
plays soon. Oh yeah, we got track and field coming
Come on
up.
now,
Yeah,
Scar
yeah.
Richardson prelims tomorrow, but then the big race is on Saturday,
She's
3 o'clock.
gonna walk out there with a joint in her mouth.
And them long ass nails sprinting up the street. Come on now.
Did you guys see that shit about that women's boxing match?
No,
It was like So it was this Italian woman and this woman from like Algeria who's like big and like strong, and like she like landed one punch on this girl, and the other woman just like gave up and was like, I'm done. And now it's become this big hoopla, and
because she gave up.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, like, there's been this, like, misinformation campaign now that, like, the other boxer is actually a man, which is completely not true. Like, you could just look it up, and it's like, no, this person was, like, born female, always has been, whatever.
They're just mad because she lost?
Yeah, dude, it's, like, insane. And, like, the other thing, you can
How
go back...
How big of the size difference is it?
I don't know. I mean... The woman that won, like, she's, like, pretty fucking big. But here's the other thing.
Different classes?
I'm not sure how it works in the Olympics. But here's the other thing is, like, this woman that won, that everyone's, like, mad about, or not everyone, but, like, stupid people are mad about, last Olympics, she lost. Like, she has, like, a 9-4 record, I think, in her amateur career.
So she's very beatable.
Yeah, it's, like, and if you see the punch that she landed, like, she, like, walloped her, but... You see, like, the Italian woman kind of tries to throw this jab and just leaves herself completely open. And it's
that's
just like,
on her.
Dude, like, you just have bad technique.
Yeah, get a better coach.
And you got rocked. And now it's just like all of these shitheads are just like making it into this thing. It's really, it's really ridiculous. But, yeah.
It's only because she's black, probably.
Well, she's, I don't know. She's
the Algerian woman.
Algerian. I mean, I don't know what her ethnic background is, but...
I mean, I'm assuming if you're from Algeria, you're from Africa, you're probably some black.
Yeah, so, you know.
I'm going to look her up.
Yeah, look up if you just look up women's Olympic boxing, it'll probably be the thing that comes up, because it's been like a...
Yeah, that woman's definitely black, and people are being racist. Watch.
But it's like... Yeah, I mean, it's just like... I feel like there's just a thing with, you know... like the way
she's brown,
yeah,
that's good enough. She's black as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know. It's like every time some woman just is like dominant and is just like kicking everyone's ass, this shit comes up, and it's just like, let people be great. Like, why are you all afraid of greatness?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, there's just I feel like there's people just have this sort of like infantilizing instinct when it comes to like women's sports, that it's like it's supposed to be like fair,
yeah, it's supposed
and
to
it's
be
like
dainty.
Yeah, no. it's like if I was playing basketball and was, against LeBron James, would be like, oh, it's not fair that he's so much bigger and faster and stronger than me. It's just like, dude, it's not supposed to be fair.
This is what sports is all about.
It's the fucking Olympics,
right?
And then there was this other shit where it's like the woman that lost was like, oh, she was trying to like. She wanted to do this for her father and blah, blah. It's like, who gives a fuck, right?
Yeah.
This is real life, right? This is the Olympic. Like,
I looked her up.
Come on, man.
Iman Khalif, you think she's not fighting for something?
Yeah, her story is actually pretty interesting. Like, I was watching.
People need to leave her alone,
dude. She was like, her dad is just like a like a working class like welder or some shit, and apparently she had to like scavenge like scrap metal to pay for like a bus to get to the gym to train and stuff. Like, very like, you know,
Rudy,
like
Rudy,
fucking,
it's a
like, and it's like, I want to. It's like, fuck it, I want to see that woman dominate and beat the shit out of people.
She probably that means her fucking fists are probably ready to roll.
Wow, I mean, like, I want to see greatness and domination.
You know who had to weigh in? You know who had to weigh in?
Didn't Slay?
Nah. These are bad people that weighed in. J.K. Rowling.
Oh, yeah.
Elon Musk criticized Olympics after Algeria's Iman Khalif wins women's boxing match amid gender controversy. A misogynist sporting establishment. Get the hell out of here.
I would pay to see anybody fight anybody, to be honest with you.
I would pay to see someone knock J.K. Rowling. I would pay good money to see anyone, but especially Iman Khalif, knock J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk out. I would pay whatever my life's net worth is. I would pay it to see that, dude. These people are cretins. Elon Musk needs to get his ass kicked. J.K. Rowling, you wrote some fantasy books that people liked when they were kids. You're washed, dude. You're way washed. Why don't you just go die in a coffin somewhere?
Ding,
Leave people alone because they're athletic. And you feel as though women aren't allowed to be strong and powerful. Get the hell out of here. Trevor, get the gunshot going. I'm going in, dude. We need that Kendrick not like us
He
beat
said,
playing
"We
in
ain't
the
like us."
background right now, dude.
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling, you ain't like us, man. Go back to your British homeland crying. That's all I got. But nah, that's not cool, man. Just because someone's a woman and they're athletic, you gotta be salty. It's 2024, man. That's like the rugby chick. People are calling her all butch and beefy.
Yeah,
She's
it's like,
throwing
yeah,
stiff
because
arms like
being
Derrick
bi,
Henry.
yeah.
they play sports.
Right. She's like, I play rugby.
Yeah, like,
my
what the
position
fuck?
is to be the bruiser and the one that fucks somebody else up. Like, it's not what we all, like, have established here, sport-wise.
People just don't understand sports.
She could fuck up literally 50% of men out there. She would barrel them over.
Right.
Me, Trevor, probably you too, to be honest.
Yeah, probably me. I'm not
With
ashamed
your
to admit it.
With your buddy-ass feet, yeah.
Yeah.
I got it working.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot.
I mean, she said, BMI, bitch, I'm in the Olympics. What do you got
Yeah.
to say?
Yeah,
and she
BM
won a bronze. Against not only...
in their first time competing.
And they played against two juggernauts in rugby, in women's rugby.
And to get a bronze
New
is great.
Zealand. New Zealand is like the creme de la creme of rugby sports. People know that, like, New Zealand is the big dog in rugby. Then they played Australia, which is like pretty much
It's
also
right
New
next
Zealand.
to
It's the same fucking
yeah.
thing. Got all them, whatever big people that like to play. You got the U.S. that rugby is not a big sport here at all. To get bronze against every other country is huge.
Dude, then
On a 99-yard touchdown?
People, dude, that was wild. I seen videos where she's
Yeah.
throwing people. I'm just like, damn.
In the knockout round, she fucked people up there.
Yeah,
I
she
forget
was
who they played,
gangsta.
but she was going nuts. She got them into that position to win.
Yeah, people want to be mad at her too. It's
Right.
like, what do you want her to do? She was born big. She's using her size well, and who the hell cares if she's big? She's a beast.
People would call
She's gonna make a lot of money now.
People
'cause
would
of
call
this.
that same physique as a male in like football or whatever. Like, oh man, what a stud.
She's like Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they're like, oh, what a stud. Like, if you had
it's
something
like,
like that,
oh, it's not fair that Derrick Henry's so big and fast.
Right.
Like, it's like, what the fuck? Like,
it makes no sense. But you know what? Shout out USA rugby team getting that bronze, first ever medal ever in Olympic sport
Yeah,
for
yep.
that sport. It's huge. And it sets a precedent for women everywhere for USA rugby
Yeah, you
to do
already
that
see
thing.
people
Yeah.
on Instagram saying, "Yeah, my daughter's gonna look up to you." My son,
Big time.
my kids love that they saw a woman do this on TV.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
U.S.
yeah.
soccer's been doing that shit for fucking years.
Yeah.
Killing the game. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, people
Yeah,
need to get a
so-
grip and cool off, man.
fuck that Italian lady boxer. She
And
can.
yo,
Yeah, she can suck a fucking dick.
Fuck off.
Well, she can do
J.K.
it.
Rowling, man, you can go jump off the London Bridge. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk, you can go. Oh, hold up! Whatever happened to the last person that tried to go to the Titanic site?
I don't know if that's happened yet, has it?
Oh,
Well, they
well,
were
we haven't
all
kept up
fucking
with
each
that.
other real quick.
When it does, we can put him on the boat too.
We haven't kept up
We
with
can
the
run
Titanic
too.
watch.
We can run that track back. Hold on now.
Yo, we should deport his ass to South Africa. Get out of here! You don't live here, man.
Yeah.
You ain't from here.
This little musky ass spell.
If Embiid can get booed, you sure as hell can get booed.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, I think I'll just about do it for us tonight, everybody. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review if you get a podcast. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Peace.